Hi, I'm Leah and welcome to Steadfast. As you can see today, I'm indoors. It's really hot outside, so I didn't want to go spend time outdoors, but a few days ago I had gone for a walk and it was nice out, and so I had just recorded some things along the way, and I wanted to use that to tell you a story about trust. So most of you probably know that back in 2023, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so as all the processes were, coming to say what my treatment was going to look like, I had gone through a biopsy and, there were timelines set up, and I knew I was going to have to go through chemo and surgery and radiation and all that. But at this point in the journey that I'm getting ready to tell you about, I had not yet had any kind of treatment. So all that was going on was I knew I had cancer and I knew I needed treatment. But other than that, there was nothing we were doing to get the cancer out of me, right? So it was a little stressful time of waiting while you know you have cancer growing in you and you're just waiting. So I wanted to show you some of the pictures along the walk that I took, and while I'm showing you those pictures, I want to tell you a little story about that as well. So with the journey of figuring out how to deal with cancer, one morning back in 2023, I was out for a walk and I was just praying, and the treatment center that I was using locally here, they had scheduled me for a biopsy that was about 10 days away. And then, so you have 10 days and then that's your appointment. And then after your appointment, it can take about up to 2 weeks for the results of that biopsy. So, by that time, you're looking at almost a month of just waiting to know the results of the biopsy. And I'm sure many of you have gone through things like that. So it's very stressful. And so as I was walking this one particular morning, I was debating within myself of, do I need to advocate for myself? Do I need to press a little bit with the medical offices and say, okay, 10 days is too long to wait. We need to do this sooner. We need to do this quicker so we can get to the treatment as quickly as possible and not dilly-dally, right? Because you can't dilly-dally with cancer, right? So I was debating, do I need to do that, or is it something where I can just lean back and say, Lord, I don't know what's coming, but I'm going to trust that you are in charge, and if it needs to be sooner, I'm going to trust that you're going to make it sooner. And I couldn't decide, as I was thinking about those kind of two avenues, I couldn't decide which was needed in this situation. Obviously, trusting God all the time is good, but sometimes we also trust Him and we are supposed to act still. And so I was just praying about that. And because of the nature of, when you're dealing with that kind of situation, there's a lot of stress and a lot of emotion involved. And so it kind of makes hearing God a little bit hard. So I told the Lord, I said, God, I would really love just a sign. I know I don't usually ask for signs because I feel like that's, you're going to show me one way or the other. But this time I'm really asking for some sort of a sign so I know for sure, which way to go. So as I was continuing to walk along, just praying and thinking back and forth, I thought, well, I don't know, not sure what to do. So as I was nearing the end of the walk, I walked past this sign. And it's a sign I'd walked past many times. It was at the entrance of the park. But the thing that was amazing that day is my eyes landed on the sign, and on that sign there's a big word, trust. And that's where my eyes landed. And it dawned on me that there was a sign, a literal sign, right in front of me, and it had the word trust on it. And it was like it was highlighted, But the thing about it is, it was almost like, no, that's too obvious, that's too easy. And And it's too much, it's like, well, I did ask for a sign, God, but really? I mean, that's the sign? That just seems over the top. So I didn't quite believe it. And so I kind of set it aside. And once I was back home, I'm like, well, I think I'm just going to advocate and just see what I can do to press and push. So I called offices and they're like, no, there's no way to move the date up. So then I thought, well, let me just call all around the state of Florida, because maybe there's another city or another location where they would have the same facility and the same type of biopsy that I needed and be able to get me in sooner. So I spent the whole day, literally the whole day, calling until closing time of these different offices. And there was absolutely no one, no office, nothing, anywhere that could see me any sooner than what I was already scheduled for. It really felt like a death sentence. It felt like there was no hope, there was no way I was gonna get the help I needed in time, and it was just, a death sentence. The next day, I got a call from my doctor's office, and they said, hey, we've actually moved you up, so you can come in 3 days, and then we should be able to have the results in about a week. So that sign that I walked past with the word trust on it, I knew right then, I knew that was really from the Lord and really meant for me to just say, yeah, you can trust the Lord. Don't worry about trying to scramble and advocate and all that. I have you. I am in charge. I know what's coming. And I'm telling you right now, trust me. But the thing is, I spent that whole day toiling, and all the thoughts and all the energy, everything I poured into something that I could have approached way different. I could have looked at that sign and trusted, said, okay, Lord, I'm going to trust you in this. I see that you have me, and you're telling me right here to trust you. And I could have spent the whole day just in a state of peace and calm, but I didn't believe. And so it cost me a whole day of literally peace in my soul. But the cool thing about it, even though it was kind of a lost opportunity, the thing that happened is the Lord through that showed me that at the beginning of that cancer journey that I had ample reason to trust the Lord through the whole journey. That He knew how to communicate with me. He knew how to take care of me, and He already was. He was like already ahead of me on that journey. So it wasn't something I really even needed to worry about. So I thought I would share that little story with you, and I hope it's an encouragement to you. I'd like to share a verse with you as well. It's from Isaiah 26, verse 4. It says, "Trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord God is an everlasting rock." So trust in the Lord forever. How long is He good for? Is He good for just like a month or two? Or is He good for a couple of years? No, trust in the Lord forever, because our God is an everlasting rock. He will never stop being our rock. He will never stop taking care of us. He will never stop being what we can rest and build our lives on. He will never stop being our peace. So I hope that's encouraging and is a reminder that, we can remain steadfast and just hold our ground, because He is really trustworthy. He is really who He says He is. Have a blessed day.